Hey Foxies, welcome to day 3 of the 12 days of FOXMAS. I hope you guys are enjoying all of the exercises and tips along the way, and you are doing this challenge and sharing so that you can be in the entry for the drawing of the Total Fox winner at the end of the 12 days of FOXMAS. So excited for that. And if you've missed it, I will do a post on what the prizes are. So remember, you have to be posting a video of you trying these exercises as best as you can. I'll give you critique and you'll get encouragement. You'll have the accountability from everybody here in the community, of course, and you're going to get started on being foxy during the holidays, which is the most prized thing to have right now, because a lot of people are feeling pretty defeated during this time. So without further ado, today we are going to talk about glute isolation. So building a booty is everybody's favorite, especially during the summer months. I, for one, used to never have a good booty. I was skinny fat. I was pretty lean my whole life and just, had not really much curvature to my physique. My body is very much an ectomorphic, and I've worked a lot of years of trying to combat that war on my body of it wanting to have that genetic predisposed, aesthetic, right? And we all have those different body types. And so maybe for you, you want to also recomp your body, get rid of some body fat percentage, but you also still want to improve your booty. Or a great thing with booty isolation is actually a lot of functionality and overall health of your ligament structure and your muscle and joint connections in your body, especially as an aging woman. If you are busy, you're active, you're a mom, you have a job, a desk job, any type of job really, we tend to get aches and pains as we age, and it's just due to not having the proper strength around our joints and our ligaments. And this also improves by you actually using them properly. And a lot of people negate that responsibility and that ownership with our bodies because they think fat loss, dieting, which in their mind is cutting calories, excessive cardio, all of these restrictive diets and programs and things like that. When really what they should be doing is an individual approach and also a blended approach with their training. And a lot of times that comes with restructuring and conditioning the joint health. Inevitably, when you are on a transformation journey like this, like our ladies here that you've seen, you're going to be helping to prevent osteoporosis as you age. You're going to be improving your bone health. Your bone density actually improves when you do more weight-bearing resistance exercises. And also you're improving your posture. You are improving your joint health. So you're going to be diminishing those chronic aches and pains as much as possible, and also preventing future ones, and this provides good structure to work on flexibility and mobility. And that's where you can kind of go different avenues with your own fitness. Some people go down the route of doing lots of yoga, maybe high intensity interval training, which requires actually a lot of joint health work. Some people do CrossFit. Again, lots of recovery needed, lots of care on your proper form, a lot of downtime from that, metabolically as well. And then just your average woman who wants to lose weight, tone up, and just have healthy body, healthy mind, and try to live a long, healthy life. And one of the biggest muscles, which is a contributor to so many chronic aches and pains, is, well, we think it's our back, but it's actually our hamstrings and our glutes. And I will tell you that the glutes are the primary reason for the structure breaking down in our knee, being unsupported. So if you have knee issues, you have ankle issues, if you have low back issues, a lot of it can be traced back up into your glute muscles not being strong enough. So this comes from inactivity and misuse. So if you are thinking that you want to build a booty and all you're doing is squats because you think like that's the only thing that you can think of, that's the only thing that you can kind of get proper form on and you can actually feel your booty working, that's like a beginner syndrome, guys. And I highly always encourage all of my ladies in their programs to advance and progress their leg days. Everybody knows what a leg day is, and they get excited about leg day because booty growth, leg development, leg definition, sexy, foxy legs. But at the same time, you have to get away from just doing endless amounts of lunges, endless amounts of squats, endless amounts of leg presses, right? You follow your favorite fitness influencers, and all you see is them, upping the weight on their squats, their deadlifts, in the rack, right? Or in their leg press machine. They're constantly upping that. That's true. There's a time and a place for progressive overload. Absolutely. If that is your goal, you should be doing that. I do that. But again, it depends what type of fitness you fall under. What type of aesthetic body do you want to have? What type of health needs do you have? Do you have past injuries? Some of my ladies here know, and Gabby, one of them, she shared this week, how she's overcome her leg and ankle break from her snowboarding accident last year, which was like a spur of a moment thing. And yet she's stuck on with me, trusted the process, and we've gotten her back from that. And also she's had a past pelvic injury way before working with me that we've definitely surpassed a bunch of milestones with that as well. So go back and look at her posts and, kind of get inspired by her story. There's a few of you as well who I know who have spoken to individually about some of your, ailments and different problems that you go to a chiropractor for, that you go to a physical therapist for still. And those absolutely you need to go to, because it helps to have somebody have an inside look, with x-rays, with that type of knowledge to provide a treatment plan with that. But something I always do with my ladies is I work hand in hand with that. So again, understanding that it can't always all be about squats, deadlifts, and leg presses or leg extensions, but it also has to be about booty isolation. Why? Because most likely when you're doing your leg workouts, you're not getting that much engagement within your glute muscles. You're getting it some of the time, but over the span of all of your reps, you're only getting maybe a fraction, like maybe 70 to 80% of your reps are actually engaged properly, especially if you're trying to go gung-ho, you don't have a coach monitoring and helping you critique your form. It can certainly prolong that process, and you can actually injure yourself too. I have had ladies come to me say like, oh my God, I tried doing this on my own. I tried, upping my weight in the squat rack and doing glute thrusts in the gym, just like I've seen on Instagram, and I ended up hurting myself. And we don't want that for you. We don't want that. So the best thing you can do, which you can find us in our booty program, our Foxy Lady Booty Builder program in our iFox Fitness Training app on the App Store. Ask me if you want a link to that. Erica's doing it right now and she's killing it. Good job, girl. But the best thing is to incorporate more than once a week your leg days that have a prioritization of your glute muscles. So maybe that's 2 leg days and you're splitting it up from anterior and posterior, pushing and pulling, but then also not negating the responsibility of focusing solely on the glute muscles. Okay, so your adductors and your abductors, those are important because they do surround and help the glutes, but also we don't want to neglect the actual glutes. It's taken me a long time to build this, guys. It really has. And nobody wants to really talk about glutes because they feel weird about it. But dude, it pays you in the long run, and your body will feel so much more agile. You'll be able to carry your kids as they age. Like my kids are 6 and 5 years old now, and I can still carry them around. I can carry them up the stairs, down the stairs, at the store, like whenever they need me to. And I know that in the past that would have really worn me out. My back would be hurting and things like that. So it pays off, you know, in so many ways in your lifestyle. So don't discount yourself from the responsibility of strengthening solely your glutes. So my recommendation for you ladies, if you're not already implementing this, or you're not already working with us at iFox Fitness with me or Coach Stacia, my recommendation is focusing on booty isolation at least one time a week, where you're only working your glutes. Things that you're going to want to do if you're working out at home or the gym: use your super bands, resistance bands, 1 or 2 ankle straps, cable machines, again using the attachment for your ankles, and then the main machines, if you have it at your gym, would be the glute thrust machine, hack squats. So don't just do everything on the leg press machine. Try to advance to hack squats. You know, some type of flat platform that allows you to go a little bit deeper, or allows you to do really safe executed good mornings. You can also do this on a Smith machine if you need help with form as well, because it helps keep your body in line and it moves with you. But again, you're going to use that, and also the booty bands. So anything that has the sturdiness, I like the woven fabric kind the best. You can find them at X-Bands, you can find them at Buff Bunny, you can find them on Amazon. However, I will say Amazon's kind of iffy because some of them come from China and they will snap on you. There's nothing like getting like those little tiny rubber ones and they like snap, right? So don't cheap yourself out too much on the booty bands. They're worth it. Get like small or like light, medium, heavy, or get something that has the structure for you, that has the pounds. So get like 10 or 15 pounds, and then like 25 pounds, 45 pounds, 65 pounds. Sometimes they have those levels for booty bands. So those are your main added resistance benefits of booty isolation. And you can do this totally at home, or you can do this at the gym, or a hybrid of both. So I'm going to show you some great booty isolation movements that you can try, and I want you guys to try it below so you can be in the entering for the drawing at the end of the 12 days of FOXMAS. Now remember, there are 3 main muscle heads of the glutes, and you do have to hit all of them. And as you get better in your training and your athleticism with your mind-muscle connection, right? We talked about that yesterday on day 2 of 12 days of FOXMAS. When you develop that mind-muscle connection, you'll get better and better and better at cueing and engaging and squeezing those muscles. Like, look, I'm just squeezing my glute muscle like individually, and it's just moving, right? So when you get so good at that mind-muscle connection, it's almost like those people who can you know, shimmy their chest muscles. Same thing with your glutes. You can have so much more control over your exercise movements when you have the strength built up. You're gonna have that help support your knees, your legs, everything. You're gonna shy away from overdeveloped quads if you're a very quad dominant woman, which is very popular actually. A lot of women gain muscle quickly in their legs. You know, booty is hard again, and this is why a lot of people are attacking their leg days totally wrong, and all they're doing is putting more and more load on their quads. And if that's not your goal, then don't do it. You can just do more booty isolation. Anything between 15 to 20 reps is awesome, but again, with the proper form and the contraction. So like I mentioned yesterday, For day 2 of 12 days of FOXMAS, there's a lot you can do with these super bands and an ankle strap. So you can actually do the same looping method I showed you guys yesterday on like stair banisters, but you're doing it this way, and then you're also attaching it the same way once you do it on your loop to an anchor point. So I just have it attached to the bottom of my machine here. Again, that low anchor point is going to allow you to do the same exercises with a band as you can with a cable machine having a low anchor point. Okay, having the low anchor point on your cable machine, again, this is a way that you can modify that at home with cables. I have a cable machine here, or I have resistance bands. Attach that firmly around your ankle. Everything's in place. The most common problem I see with women doing kickbacks is that they're kicking too high or using momentum and just swinging it, right? They're just swinging it back and forth, thinking that they're doing things, but you want to slow it down and slow and control your movement. Just lightly tap the ground. You're keeping tension on the band, the cable machine, the entire time, and you really don't have to go beyond full tightness of the booty here. Not even touching the ground. Hold onto something and you're squeezing this, the gluteus maximus, the entire time. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Slowing, controlled is the best form of booty isolation, really strengthening, working those muscles. So you have the gluteus maximus, the medius, and then underneath the medius you have the minimus. So the 3 muscle heads, gluteus maximus, which helps go into your tie-in, which connects to the insertion point of your hamstrings, which is considered kind of like the bicep of the legs. And your adductors are right on the inside here, connected in the insertion point, like in the inner, like up in your crotch area. And your medius and your minimus help support your pelvis. So any sort of movements that you need to do to help support your pelvis, if you have a weak pelvis, you'll know. Or if you have problems with one side overcompensating than the other, then you'll notice chronic pain often in one side of your body, or in one knee, or in one ankle. And it's because you have weakness from overcompensation, lack of posture support. All of that can be helped with strengthening your glutes. So the common kickback, keeping your resistance the entire time. Your back is rigid. You can even wear a waist belt if you need to help you control and train your mind to tighten your abs and keep you rigid. But over time you won't need to do that. You can have a slight bend in your knee, but what I don't want you to do is swinging it, because again, you're only getting 70 to 80% of the engagement of your glutes in your isolation. So booty isolation days, you need to really slow it down, and you're tightening, you're keeping tension on the point of movement the entire time, and you're squeezing the muscle you're working the entire time for 15 to 20 reps. Because it doesn't do you any good to be like, okay, this is a kickback, everything's tight right here and perfect, and then I'm gonna let go of the tension and try to do a kickback, when all I'm doing and trying to add load to that is I'm putting extra stress and resistance, and I'm incorporating other muscles in the lower back and in your lats even, and also in the other leg. So your other leg days, you can certainly do that to a point, but for booty isolation, you're doing yourself a disservice if you're not focusing on one key movement and one key muscle head of the glutes. So again, for kickbacks, don't go like past your range of motion here. Just go to where you need to go to keep tension on the glutes the entire time. The moment you let it go and you give your other muscles opportunity to kick in, you're letting go of the isolation. So isolation of muscle groups are very hard and challenging for a reason, and that's why you have to slow down your workouts and stop thinking about dieting so hard. Stop thinking about going so fast. If you are rushing your workouts, that can impair your results. If you are moving too slow, that can impair your results. If your form is off, that can impair your results. There's a lot of variables to think about here, which is why it helps to have an objective approach with a coach. So if you guys need help, please reach out to me or Coach Stacia. The next booty isolation movement I want you to do is just have a booty band around your thighs above your knees, and you're gonna have your feet just shoulder width apart. This is the band I have in my Total Fox Den office right now. My other one is in my gym bag. So for the purpose of this demo, I won't be using my woven one I was talking to you guys about, which would give me more resistance. But I think this would go to show you, at the level that you can really do this movement. So we're really just gonna be doing tap outs. You're gonna have a slight hinge in your hips. Okay, this is gonna allow you to start squeezing your booty. You're really feeling it here in the medius minimus, and then also just slightly in the maximus. But mainly the maximus is worked when you are toe tapping outwards, and then you're releasing back in. Okay, so you're gonna be stable in one foot, having good balance, and you're on the balls of your foot. And again, this is standing straight up. You're gonna hinge at the hips just slightly, not like bent over like this, and doing it that way. You can there's a lot of exercises that allow us to do things like that, but I want you guys focusing on the bare minimum here, so you can work on your actual muscle engagement for your isolations, so you can actually feel that muscle working. So just hinging slightly, squeeze, 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 and then just shifting your weight onto the one foot, tapping your toe, and we're gonna just tap it out once, bring it back, once, bring it back, once, bring it back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then you're gonna switch to the other side. At that point, you're gonna have enough reserve to do the next leg. So hit reset if you need to reset. Allow yourself to relax, breathe, then hinge your hips, squeeze the glutes, balls of your feet, tap out, and you can hold your arms to the side or in front of you to help hold your balance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they're burning. Feels so good, right? You'll know you're working your glutes when you feel the burn in your glutes. Another favorite is literally good mornings or hyperextensions on a Roman chair. There are 2 different types of Roman chairs. There's the one where your legs and your body are completely at a 90 degrees and you're going up. And then there's a 45-degree one where you're hip hinging up this way. So again, I don't have the machine here in my house, but you have the 90-degree Roman chair ones where you're really hanging down, you're higher up. This is your legs, this is the upper body, and you're either doing this weighted or body weight or even having a band around your legs. But again, you're hip hinging up level, down, up, level, down, really squeezing the booty the entire time and controlling the neutral rigidness of your back so there's no rounding. There's a time and a place for different back rounding techniques, but again, this is an advanced technique. I don't recommend that so you don't hurt yourself, especially if you're loading it with extra weight, because we're just focusing on booty isolation. But most of my ladies start off on the 45-degree angle Roman hyperextension chair, and that's really easy to find in most gyms. You can actually replicate this on the back of your couch, or the side of your couch rather, leaning over the arm of a couch. As long as it's safe, you can kind of anchor your feet into the couch cushions. And again, you're creating that 90 degrees. This is your legs. The point here, the pivot point, is your hips. And you are just hinging up, squeezing the booty the entire time. If you don't have the ability to do that at all, or you are just getting into your fitness, a way you can simply modify that if you were a beginner is doing Supermans but with a glute focus. So having a booty band around your legs to add the added resistance, and then laying down flat, and instead of placing emphasis on the back and the lats and the delts, you're going to be focusing emphasis on those glute muscles and having resistance here to help with that. Okay, so it's going to be pushing against you, and it's going to help you support the glutes and tighten the glutes in these movements. You can do this flat, or you can also use an ab mat or a yoga mat and just roll it up, or a small pillow, a bolster, and just put it under your hips just slightly. Even just a few inches makes a difference here, because it allows your upper body to kind of sink below that point, and you're getting just an extra range of motion to work on this. So you're doing the same thing, having just a little bit like shoulder width apart. Your toes are touching the ground, and again, you're squeezing the booty already, and you're just lightly supporting yourself. Go down, up, squeeze, relax, go down, up, squeeze, relax, go down, squeeze, relax, go down. Even just this for beginners is really, really good, especially postpartum mamas, because you need to build up your core, you need to build up your glutes again, and for your pelvis especially. A lot of women have weak pelvises after childbirth. I know I did. So you're gonna feel, it's almost like you're doing like a push-up, but you're not. You're just using this for support. You're not actually doing a push-up, but you're just allowing to squeeze the glutes. You're intentionally squeezing your glutes together really hard, then back down. Squeeze, back down. Squeeze, back down. And you're gonna pause, hold, squeeze, release, and breathe. It's gonna be hard. Another way that you see a lot of people doing this is using a barbell, heavy loaded barbell, or heavy loaded dumbbells to anchor their feet, and they're doing these negatives where they're literally falling like this. That's another way of doing that, but again, that is a very advanced technique, and it's so easy to do that, and then again only have 70 to 80% of engagement on your glutes. So I always recommend with the smaller movements for beginners, and even intermediate, like even I still do glute isolations as small movements of these. If you're doing fire hydrants, you have to keep your spine intact, And you have to not like wing it, but rather slow it down, hold, squeeze, back down, up, hold, squeeze, back down, up, hold, squeeze, back down. Your legs should not be flailing around when you're doing a fire hydrant. And when you're doing a donkey kick, it should be straight up, squeeze, do not go beyond that point, back down, up, squeeze, back down, up, squeeze, back down. So I hope that you guys like these isolation workouts. You can really get yourself out of breath with these and really feel it. If you don't feel like doing a full leg day, if your legs are still overly sore, that's probably a good day to just work on glute isolation. Glute isolation is one of the top ways to grow your glutes, ladies. So stop doing a bunch of squats and start working on your glute isolations.